Ladies and gentlemen, good evening. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Richard, or Sua, and today I have the honour of being Pete's best man. Now, before I share with you some of the more embarrassing moments of Pete's life, of which there are many, I'd just like to give Pete a little something to remember the day by. Sammy, if I could ask you to put your hand on the table. And Peter, if I could ask you to put your hand on top of Sammy's. Pete, you should remember this moment because it's probably the only time you're going to have the upper hand in this marriage. Peter and I met when we were 4 years old on the first day at Burwell School in Sheffield, England. My memory, I suspect that when many of you met Pete for the first time, you have sort of the same first impressions that I did. He's a bit vertically challenged. He's never shy in sharing his opinions. I thought there's a lot more to Pete than meets the eye. At junior school, he was the more-looking book. He did well academically. Part of the school choir and orchestra, and tried his hardest to do well at sports, although complete inability to run and catch at the same time, rugby and cricket were not his strong points. But it was at senior school where he reached his peak, with an unprecedented growth spurt in the second year, making him one of the tallest in the class. For a while, he revelled in his newfound stature, lauded it over the rest of us. However, unfortunately for Pete, the growth spurt abruptly ended, leaving him in a room that was near 5 feet 4 inches. This compact stature, which has spawned many of Pete's nicknames: Smallsy, the Hobbit, and the Uncle Lumber. Senior school was also the time that Pete started to develop an interest in girls. But a lack of confidence and conversation skills meant that progress on this front was slow. But Pete had a cunning plan. He developed an alter ego named Bruce Cruz. A combination of the two actors that he has a man crush on, Bruce Willis and Tom Cruise. When Pete would find himself confronted by a girl and unsure of what to do, he would ask himself the question, what would Bruce Cruz do? And it is still there. He also adopted their catchphrases and hairstyles to help market himself to the girls. Although, with the benefit of hindsight, the shoulder-length hair phase was not a good choice. During and after school, one of the major themes of Pete's life has been skiing. On his gap year, he trained as a downhill racer in the US and in Europe, and had considerable success, representing both England and Wales at various championships, including the World Student Games. After finishing up on his gap year, Pete moved on to Newcastle University to study law. I think it's fair to say that Pete was probably more focused on having a good time at university than putting all of his efforts into studying. He definitely enjoyed the Newcastle nightlife, and I can think of only one night that turned out to be a total flop. Arguably, his finest moment at university came on a Wednesday night in the first year. Pete had met a girl that he was trying to impress, and the Bruce Cruz routine was failing again. So he decided to go for something a little more visual. He declared to this girl that his legs were so strong from skiing that he could bunny hop over bicycle racks. The first rack was successfully cleared. The girl seemed impressed that it was going well, but on the second rack, disaster struck. He had not jumped high enough. His feet clipped the rack and sent him tumbling into the next one. Now, I suspect at this point, everybody in this room would put their hands out to brace themselves against the fall. But not Pete. He instead decided to break the fall with his face. And in the process, managed to smash smashed several of his teeth. Unfortunately, I missed the whole incident. But later that night, I went to check that he was okay. I went to knock on his door and found him sat on his bed, head down, and totally dejected. I said, "Petey, are you okay? I don't know what happened." And he turned and looked at me like a toothless simpleton. And I quote, "I've ruined my best feature." Now, you think that after such an ordeal, he would take it easy, have a couple of weeks off the booze. But no, I put him in charge of a rugby pub crawl, and only a few weeks later he got so drunk on this pub crawl that he fell over, and again decided to go teeth first into a step. Luckily for Pete, his dad's a dentist, and Glenn was able to repair that winning smile. Despite these setbacks, it didn't seem to affect Pete's confidence, as he was overheard telling one girl at university, "If I was just 5 inches taller, I could have any girl I want." In amongst all parties, Pete took part in some time to study, and emerged with honours in his law degree after 3 years. After the stress of finals, Pete booked himself a holiday in the Dominican Republic, for tomorrow and hour. I remember when the flight's over, Pete said that he was focused on getting a deep tan. So on the first day, he passed himself on the sun lounger with factor 8 sun cream and proceeded to take himself. After a few hours, he was taking on a decidedly pinkish hue. So I said, "Pete, maybe it's time for some shade or a bit more sun cream." And he said, no, I'm fine. But sometimes you have for a little bit of burn if you want that elusive tan. So I let him continue sun worshipping. But at the end of the day, when he came in, he didn't so much have a deep tan, more a deep burn. He was lobster red. So the extent that small children were pointing and laughing at him. The next 3 days were spent completely in the shade, applying liberal amounts of sun cream and peeling from head to toe. Peeling was in fact so bad that when we went snorkeling later that week, the fish were eating the peeling skin. After the summer off, Pete entered the world of work. He's had a few different jobs. He's run around the university skiing circuit. He did a stint at Rolls-Royce in Derby, and emulating his idol, Tom Cruise, also works as a sports agent. But these jobs didn't hold Pete's interest, and he decided to move to pastures new. So, despite never having been here before, he took the plunge and moved to Australia to continue his studies at Bond University. And it was at Bond where Pete and Sammy met. Apparently, and I'm not sure I really believe this, despite what Mike said, he was viewed as handsome and mysterious English guy. Something which his friends in England have never described him as. I remember the time, it wasn't long after he'd been in Bond, I remember the time that he said that he had a girlfriend, and he told all of us back home he had a girlfriend. The initial reaction was skepticism. And this only increased when we started seeing pictures of him and Sammy on Facebook. But he proved all the doubts wrong, and he brought Sammy over to the UK in December 2011. It was clear to all of us that he found a really, really good one, even if he did have to go to the other side of the world to do it. I've been lucky enough to get to know Sammy a bit better since I've been living in Australia. And everything that I've learned has only reinforced the view that you're a very lucky man. But I think the most impressive thing that I've learned about Sammy is how she has managed to compete under the thumb in record time. Never before have I seen Peter meekly do as he is told. A perfect example of this was a year ago when Pete and Sammy came to stay with us in Sydney. We'd had a barbecue, everyone had finished eating. There were a few potatoes left in the bowl, and he moved towards them with the intent of finishing them off. Sammy intercepted him, slapped him on the back of the hand, and said, "No, Pete, you don't need those, you'll get fat." Pete did as he was told. And it was at that point that I realised that he'd already learned one of the very important lessons to a happy marriage. The path of least resistance is always the best option. And I think recently I've realised it's not the only lesson you learn. I've also realised that a happy marriage is a matter of give and take. You give Sammy your money and she takes it. But all jokes aside, he is a great guy, and I'm very, very lucky to have him as my friend. He's generous, reliable, and always willing to do what he can to help others. And Sammy, I know that he will do everything that he can to make you happy. And Pete, in Sammy, you found yourself a little worried. She's beautiful, she's intelligent, warm-hearted, and will keep you on the straight and narrow. Together, you guys make a fantastic couple, and I wish both of you a very long and a very happy marriage. Ladies and gentlemen, if I can ask you all to be upstanding, raise your glasses to the new Mr. and Mrs. Starr.